Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We're in June 2024. We're continuing our emphasis on really good postural alignment, cervical head position, even as we turn side to side or as we bend forward, should always stay in that neutral position if possible. That doesn't mean that if we bend over, we can't look up, or drop the head, but that just forms poor postural mechanics over time. So we want to focus on emphasizing neutral as much as possible. So 2 or 3 pairs of hand weights, a chair, your mat. Let's start with a little bit of Tai Chi. And those of you that haven't had it yet, if you want to break this down and just watch what my feet are doing first, or just watch what my arms are doing first, that's fine. It's going to start to flow and you can blend it back all together. So we're going to come into what we call right ball. So we take the right hand and you're like cupping a ball on top. We take the left hand, cup the ball underneath, and you're standing on your right foot, slightly tapping your left. So a lot of our Tai Chi forms come from this right ball. And then we'll roll this ball by stepping over to the left and just flipping your hands and tapping the left foot. Now we're in left ball. So we step out right ball and step out left ball. So you'll notice, what are my shoulders doing? Basically, they're lifting and abducting the elbow and then the other side. So I'm starting to work through some shoulder range of motion. And those of you that have shoulder issues, rotator cuff, you can make your ball right in here, because notice if I make my ball small, my elbow's not going to lift very high. So you just adjust the size of your ball. Let's do one more each side. Roll the ball and roll the ball. Now we'll part the wild horse's mane. So we step this foot out on a diagonal, and then your hands just brush across one another. You gaze up at this hand, and then let your arms roll the ball a little bit as you step back in. And part the wild horse's mane, look to the hand, roll the ball to step back in. Now our Tai Chi is wonderful for balance. So we're working on shifting from one foot to the other and staying nice and stable through the core. Good, let's do one more. Part the wild horse's mane. Back to your right ball, and then roll the ball once to the left, just one time. So now we have left hand on top. We are unbearing or unweighting this right foot as we step out on the diagonal and part the wild horse's mane. Then your arms just roll so your right hand's back on the bottom and step out and part the mane. Good. We haven't been doing these forms for several months, so it might be a nice review. You might feel that muscle memory coming back into play since we did these for quite a while, learning these forms. If it's new to you, again, maybe you're just standing in place and trying these arm movements and then getting ready to add the legs in when you're good and ready. Let's do one more. Come back into left ball, roll the ball once to the right, and we'll do one part the wild horse's mane, step back in, and one roll the ball to the left. One part the wild horse's mane, and then one roll ball to the right. Maybe you're leaving the arms out and you're just looking at my feet and trying to get the footwork first. Roll the ball, part the wild horse's mane, and this is very graceful, mindful movement. Roll the ball. We are going to do one more to each side. Part the mane. Kind of pause before you strike that heel. Make sure you have your balance. Roll the ball. Last part the wild horse's mane. Reach that heel out. and roll the ball to the right. Good. Step out into wide Wu Chi. And then we're going to bring this into waving hands like clouds. So we just start to twist the body from side to side. We're pulling the top elbow back, then switching hands, pulling the top elbow back. And then start to bend the knee you're going toward, and bend the knee you're going toward. If you lose your balance a little bit, you don't have to turn your head, so you can just do this and keep looking forward. Or take your gaze with you and really try to look back behind you. Nice rotation of the spine. Try not to elevate your shoulder blades, so keep them pressed down. And imagine you're dragging your arms through thick mud. Just kind of slowing that down. One more each side. And then just bring this right to center. Take your palms and block forward as if you're pushing something away and squat down. As you stand back up, flip your palms up, make a fist, and pull your elbows back and squeeze through your shoulder blades. That's your inhale. Exhale, block. Inhale. Exhale, block. Inhale, then as you block, look to the right. Inhale, squeeze back. Look left. One more each side. Breathe in. Look right. Breathe in. Look left. Breathe in. Keep your gaze to the center and hold your block. I'm just going to stay here for a few seconds. Pull your fingertips toward your face. We're getting a little bit of wrist flexion. And then reverse this to point your fingers down. Flex up and down. So nice wrist mobility through a comfortable range of motion. 4. This stretches that joint for times when we're on our hands and knees. 3. Still staying in the legs. 2. And 1. Now as you come up, let your arms slightly rise and then fall. 3 more. 2 more. Maybe arms come up a little higher. 1 more. And just rise up, roll the shoulders back and down. Great. Just check in with your body. Notice any areas that might feel a little sore or uncomfortable today, and take care of your body as we move into our practice. So I would like you to grab a hand weight of medium weight. So I'm going to grab my 5. And then you'll need your chair here for balance just as we start this exercise, and you might be able to let go of it. We'll bring the feet into Pilates first position. The weight is in your left hand. Your support is to the right. We're going to stand on our right foot and développé our left leg. So we haven't done this for a while, so just remembering, we slide the toe up the leg, we extend it forward, we bend it again, and we set it down. We slide it up, extend, bend, and lower down. Now here's where we're thinking about good posture. Sometimes as we extend the leg, we bend over. So I want you to keep it really upright. Nice job. And down. Now our arm is going to do the same thing. We bend, we press it out any amount, we bring it in, and lower down. Now, if you have shoulder issues, when you press it out, it might be just this much. If you have some pretty good shoulders and the weight's appropriate for you, you might be able to push it out a little further. We'll try one more with the arm, and then we're going to put them both together. So using the chair if you need, we développé, we extend, we bring it in, and we lower down. Good. Nice, just two more. And remember, as I add layers, I want you to remove any layers you need to, stick with what you're doing, do something different, make it yours. Good, now we're gonna add a ronde. So we'll try it just with the legs. So we développé and then circle the leg around till we're back into first position. We bend, extend, circle. This is my worst hip, so I'm going to make my circle pretty small coming around. And then you're right, the arm is going to go along. So we bend, extend, circle, and lower it down. Now this can be done without weight in your left hand. So if this is being troublesome even with 1 pound, 2 pounds, then I want you to set it down and just let your arm do that nice range of motion. 3 more. Good. And 2. 1 more. Relax. Now we'll bring that same weight right up to the chest. So we are going to try to do this without holding on for balance. But if you need to, grab it. I'm going to change it to add a squat. So we développé, circle, squat down, step in. Développé, circle, squat, come in. Nice. So I'm just going to stay just with the leg on this, but if you want to add your weight back into the left arm, now that it's relaxed for a little bit, you can do that as well. 3, 2, I'm making my squat pretty small, but you can make it a lot more generous if you like. And 1, relax. Good, same sequence to the other side. I'm just going to bring my support here so I have the weight in my right hand. Toes turned out, ballet or Pilates first position. We'll développé the right leg. So see how it's turned out as we slide the toe up and then extend. I have this leg laterally rotated just a little bit. Pull it up. Reset your posture. Every time you come back here, I want you to think about realigning and drawing your shoulder blades back. Good, just 1 more with the leg only. And then let's try it on this arm and see how we do. So we bend and press it forward any amount. This side's a lot easier for me because I have a really old shoulder injury on this side. And, you know, even after 25 years, it comes back to haunt me. Shall we put them together? And we come up, extend. Now, if your hamstrings are pretty tight, your développé might be really low down here. That's fine. It's more about being able to keep your posture in alignment. And if we lift our leg too high and our hamstrings tight, then our pelvis is going to tuck under and we're going to do a little bit of that. So I want you to keep this pelvis really nice and stable. Good, 1 more. Good, let's add our ronde. We can do the arm and the leg together. So we come up, extend, circle, lower. Up, extend, circle, lower. So this is mind-body blend, which means we've got to really focus on what the arm and the leg are doing. But what's nice is they're doing pretty much the same thing. So it's not too difficult to keep track of where you are in the sequence. Nice, 1 more. Bring the weight up to the chest, balancing. We développé, ronde, squat, step into first position. Développé, ronde. Now, if you need the chair for balance for this, just set your weight down. Développé, ronde, squat. Adding that little bit extra weight isn't that much of a difference. That if you need the chair, that's more important. Or you can also add the arm throughout the sequence with the weight. 4, 3. I'm going to let you do 2 more as I rest my hip. 2. 1 more. Circle squat and step together. Great job. Okay, I'm going to bring this chair so I can use it as an option for support, but if you do not need it, then do not use it. So again, a moderate weight, maybe even lighter than what you used before. We'll see how this goes. We'll face the chair, bend both knees, keeping the cervical alignment, hinge forward, and just put your left hand on your left thigh, or if you feel like you need the chair, then your hand can come down to the chair to support you. And then we're going to do a tricep kickback row. And I'm going to start with my palm facing in toward my leg. I bring the elbow up. I straighten the arm. I bend it and down. And I want to do these slow because we're going to pause on each section of the exercise. So we come up, 1, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, lower, 1, 2, just 1 more, 1, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, lower, 1, 2. So see how my wrist is facing out toward you. Now I want you to turn your wrist away from your body. So your wrist is facing this direction, the inside of your wrist, your palm of your hand. And let's do it from this way. So we'll pull back, 1, 2, straighten the arm, 1, 2, bend the elbow, 1, 2, and down. This should be a little harder. Come up, 1, 2, straighten, the palms facing the floor, 1, 2, and down, 2, just 1 more, up, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, and down, 2. If you ever need a break, you can come up from this as I'm explaining the next hand position. So we did palm facing your leg. We did palm facing forward. Now you're going to completely rotate your palm to face behind you. And let's do that sequence. Pull it up, 1, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, lower, 1, 2. Again, up, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, and down. 1 more time. Up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, and down, and come up. So we did 3 different hand positions. We're going to do those on the other side. So again, if you need to position yourself to where your right hand is on the chair, you can do that, or support on your thigh. Check your head position. Put your little L right there. Palm is facing your leg. All right, shoulder blades down, anchor your core. Pull up, 1, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, and down, 2. Again, up, 2, and straighten, 2, bend, 2, and down. Let's do 1 more with the palm in. Up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, and down. Now turn your palm forward. Pull it up. 1, 2, straighten. 1, 2. That's a challenge. 2, and down. 2. Pull it up. And straighten. and bend. And down, one more in this position. Up and straighten and in, down, and come up if you need a break. Okay, these are our practice rounds, by the way. We're going to be really ramping it up here in a second. Okay, so now come forward again. Turn your palm to face the back. Here we go. Up, 2, straighten, 1, 2, bend, 1, 2, and down. 2 more. Reset your posture and down, 2, lower. One more time. Up, 2, and straighten, 2, bend, 2, and down, and come up. So now we're going to switch hands again and put these consecutively one by one towards each other. So the first one will be palm forward, second one palm in, third one palm back, then we'll go palm in again. So it's forward, in, back, in. If you get them mixed up, that's okay, just do one of the positions. So the first one is forward. Let's get in our position, right arm is working. And set your posture, pull your abs in. Let's begin. 1, 2, and straighten. 2, bend, 2, and down. Palm in. Up, 2, straighten. 2, bend. 2, palm is back. Up, 2, straighten. 2, bend. 2, palm is in. 1, 2, back. 2, in. 2, palm is forward. Up, 2, and back. 2, in. Palm is in. Up, 2, back. 2, bend. Palm is back. Last one. Up, 2, back. 2, in, 2, down, and relax. Stand up. Great job. Okay, I hope you have the right weight that's working for you. Okay, so again, we start with the palm forward, then it goes in, then it goes back and in. All right, set your position, palm forward, soften those knees, hinge forward, get your cervical position, engage your abs, ready, begin. It's up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, palm is in. Up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, palm is back. Up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, palm is in. Up, 2, back, 2, bend, 2, palm is forward. Pull it up. 2, back, 2, bend, 2, palm is in. Pull it up. 2, back, 2, bend, 2, palm is back. Last one. Up, 2, straighten, 2, bend, 2, and down and relax. Come on up. Nice job. Let's set that weight down. If you have a yoga strap available, let's pick that up. If you don't, that's all right. We're going to put it behind our back. Give yourself as much space as you need and open up your heart. Just lift and pull back. So if you don't have the yoga strap, just press your arms behind you, make it feel comfortable. Broaden through your chest, stretch your shoulder muscles. If you want, you can look right to left or do some easy little shoulder rolls. Side to side. And then release that stretch. You can set your strap down. A few months ago, we worked on isometrics. So where we hold a pose for at least 60 seconds, and that has been shown to help with blood pressure. So I want to throw in one of those, a minimum of one, every class this month. So the first one, and this is the number one that we did a few months ago, was the wall sit. If you have space right there where you can get on the wall, what it's going to look like is you're going to come with your back against the wall, slide yourself down, your knees are bent about 90 degrees, and you're just going to hang out here. Your other option, if you don't have the wall, is you can sit down in your chair, get your knees about hips distance apart, shift forward and lift your bum about an inch off the chair and just hold. Okay, so get yourself in the right position where you're ready to do this. I'm going to time 60 seconds. If you can make it that long, great. If you can't, just make it as long as you can, all right? If you can make it longer, when I say come out of it, you can stay in it a little bit. Okay, get yourself ready. In 5, 4, 3, 2, begin. So the goal is for nothing to move. So if you're on the wall, it's kind of easier to know whether you're moving because you're stable on the wall. Here, it's harder to know, am I coming down a little? Am I coming up a little bit? So you just have to stay as stable as you can. Important to keep breathing. So when we hold a pose, sometimes we want to hold our breath. There's just that kind of tendency. We're halfway through, 30 seconds to go. Maybe you're holding weights. Some of you might be doing that. I think I know who. Keep going, 15. Keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and press all the way up. Great. How'd the legs feel for that? Okay, so now you can hold a weight in each hand, and you can go pretty heavy on this one, as we're going to go back into some upper back work. Our rows. I'm going to turn a little bit side on. So we'll tip forward and pull back 3, 2, 1, and stand up. So check your cervical position. When you tip, it should remain the same. Pull back 3, 2, 1, and stand up. And you'll notice I'm pulsing at the top range, and I'm really trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together. Pull back 3, 2, 1. Some other talking points. You want to let your knees bend as you're forward, so no straight locked out legs. Nice neutral spine, so try not to let it look like this. No hunching. So we pull those shoulder blades back. We tip our tailbone slightly back. Good job. Let's get 4 more. Tip. 3, 2, 1, and come up. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Come up. 2 more. And up. 1 more. 3, 2, 1, and come up. Okay, the next section is going to involve pushing above the head and also doing a tricep extension behind your neck. So if you know that's not going to be okay for the shoulders, 2 choices. Don't do it, or do it without weights, just to let your arms work through that range of motion. I've got a heavy weight in one hand. It's my 8s. I'm going to bring it just under the chin, taking the feet about hips distance apart. We're going to do a triple pulsing squat. So come down 3, 2, 1. Come up. So this is our level 1. And I'm making these pretty tiny because my hip does not agree with going any lower. And I told my doctor, I said, he said, you're doing too much, you're pushing it beyond the range, and you should not be doing that. And I said, well, I'm really good about telling my people not to push beyond a pain-free range of motion, and I'm just taking it to my edge. And he said, see, no, 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 no. Don't take it to your edge either. So I'm trying to keep it away from my edge. Okay, so you can stay with level 1. Level 2, we add the arms up. Now, what's really cool about your shoulders is up for you can become to your nose. Up for you can come to your eyeballs. Up for you can come to your forehead or any range. So you don't have to go all the way here and straighten your arms all the way up. There's nothing magical about that. And what I found out yesterday is there's nothing magical to finding your edge either. So keep it below your edge if your shoulders are hurting. So this is level 2. Level 3, if you're pushing all the way up, then you're going to come back 3, 2, 1, down into the squat. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So whatever you can do here, let's get 30 seconds more. And I'm not going to count them because I'm assuming you are going at your own pace. So if you're doing all of this, you're getting quads, glutes, shoulders, triceps, abs. 10 seconds. Last one. And bring it all the way down. Great job. Okay, pretty lightweight as we work some shoulders. Take it in your left hand. You can use your chair for balance because we are going to pick up the right knee into our single leg stance. That's what it's called. And so we're going to take the arm not directly to the front, not directly to the side, but somewhere in the middle and turn the end of your weight up. So my weight isn't facing the floor. It's not rotating all the way to the ceiling, but the end of my weight is facing up and I'm coming at an angle. So I'm just going to split the difference, taking it out, bringing it in. So you can, level 1, hold the chair, keep the knee up as you do this work. Level 2, you can lower the foot and tap it down. Level 3, you can try to do that without holding the chair. Reset. Posture. 15 seconds. Without weight is okay if this is painful at all. Last one. It's amazing sometimes we can do a movement pain-free, and as soon as we add anything, we pick up our toothbrush, you can't do it anymore. So I want you to still functionally move your body, even if you're not picking up weights, as long as you don't have pain. Okay, I think we get into this mindset of avoiding things that hurt us, but it's because we're holding on to workload. Doesn't jive for everything that we do. Okay, so now we're up this leg. We're not going forward. We're not going out. We're going about halfway with the weight up. And yours might look like this right here. Maybe that's your range. So level 1, you've got the chair, so you can focus on posture, resetting it every time. Abdominals really engaged. Level 2, you can lower and lift the knee. The single leg stance was one of our New York Times exercises to increase longevity. So I'd love to bring it back in. And maybe you're letting go of the chair. 20 seconds. It's a little bit more challenging to lift and lower the leg when you aren't holding onto the chair for balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Great job. All right, I'm going to move the chair completely out of the way. We are done with that. So we've got a fair amount of time here on our back. You need to have your heavy weights and your light weights close by as we come down to the mat. So take your time to arrange everything so that it's within reach of you. And we talked about this, I think it was last week, that if you need something behind your head, when you lay on the floor, your chin is tipped back, then make sure you have something underneath the back of your head, because when you're laying on your back, you should still have that directly straight up and down cervical placement. All right. So we're going to combine arms, legs, abs, and flexibility down here onto our mat. So once you're nice and comfortable, check your head position, make sure it's neutral. Check your back position, make sure it's neutral. So we don't want to really arch our back. We can slightly tuck the tailbone just to have a little engagement here of our core. And then we're going to lift the legs up into table. If your lower back said that's no good, here's a couple things I want you to try. Pull your knees in towards you a little more. So now your lower back is down, and you can start with this. So knees over hips is a lot harder to support your core as knees into your chest. If knees into your chest isn't working for you, then go ahead and put your feet down or put your feet up on a chair. All right, so come into that position. And we're just going to do a slow bicycle. So the right leg goes out. As it comes in, the left leg goes out. If you have feet on the floor, your right leg goes out and your left leg goes out. So I want you to manage your low back with this exercise. And I'm not doing any weights right now because I want you concentrating on what's going on here before we add any external workload. And you might say, well, this is all I really want to do with this today. And that's absolutely fine. Okay, come back here. Now, if you have your knees up and your arms up, this is called the dead bug. And it's kind of an upside down spinal balance. If my knees were over my hips, it would look like I'm on my hands and knees upside down. So this is called the dead bug. So from the dead bug position, I want you to add your light or heavier weights. And of course, your light ones are going to be your first choice, just to make sure you can do it. And if you want to go heavier, you can always go up. And if you could go heavy first, you can always go down, certainly. So let's come back to that position we found was okay for your bicycle. And we'll go out with one leg and in with the other. So your legs are passing each other one at a time. Now I want you to notice which leg is going straight. That same arm will go straight. So I'm going to bring, let's see. Yeah. So I have same arm, same leg are straight and over. So if you were on the stair climber, what was that machine called back in the day? The Versa Climber. Did you ever do the Versa Climber? It was a hard machine. So you got up on these pedals and you put your arms up on these handles and you started to climb up, and this is what it looked like, but you were straight up and down from the floor. Or I guess it was kind of on a slight angle forward. Good. Now this part right here with the arms can be small, or you can really reach it out, or you can bend your elbows a little bit. This is much more doable if you bend your elbows. Okay, let's get about 15 seconds, and I know you're choosing the one that works best for you. This is a super functional movement. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to dead bug. Lower the feet and lower the arms. Okay, you can do this next one without weights or small weights. And the way you're going to tell what you want to choose is, can you lift your arms up off the floor a little bit and then tap your weights back down? If that's a no-go, then just set your weights and you're going to do this here, up and down with your arms. So we will lift our hips up into bridge, squeezing the backs of the legs. Have your arms ready to rise. And as you set your hips down out of bridge, your arms will come up instead. And then hips come up, arms go down. So they're going in reverse. You can leave out the arms altogether and just work on your bridging. There's always something that we can do that's doable and that's still very efficient and challenges our body. 7 more. Up. 6. Up. 5. Up. Ooh. 4. 3. Do you notice how low my arms are? They're not coming up to shoulder height, are they? 2. No. 1. Set your hips down, set your arms down. So while you're resting, just to demonstrate, we were going from behind our body, which was where the floor was, to about right here. When we're standing up to lift the shoulders, we're typically coming clear up here. So this worked the shoulders really well, but through a different, safer range of motion. So cool, right? Okay, we're still on our backs. So we have our left knee bent. Our right leg is going to lift and lower any height. And I'm going to see how my hip does with this because it's not really liking it. So you're going to lift and lower, and I want you to keep your quadricep really tight. It can come up any height. Hands go behind the head, and we're going to add a crunch. Up and down, up and down. So I can back this up. And like me, if your hip's not liking this or something, just set your feet on the floor and do your crunch. Break it down into any piece that works for you. Our last option is we're going to slice the hand, opposite hand across the knee and open the arm out. Slice across and open out. You can even do that with your very light hand weight. Open out, slice across, open out. 15 seconds on this side. I'm going to stop with the hip. Last one. And rest. Okay, the other side's going to be much better for me. So let's extend the left leg and we'll tighten the quad, lift and lower. Now, what to do with your ankle? Either flex it like I am now, or you can point your toe. This is going to be more of your classical Pilates, but whatever works best for you is great. Just have some emphasis in your ankle, whether it's nicely pointed or vigorously flexed. Or you can point and flex. Then we can try to add the crunch. So as the leg comes up, we lift and lower. And then we can add the slice of the arm, reaching across toward the knee. So my right shoulder blade comes up, the arm opens. I can add my weight with that. Just a light one. This gives you a chest fly. Looking at my timer here. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax everything down. Let's hug our knees up into our chest. Maybe make some circles. Just relax your lower back. It might have had a little bit of tension in it after that sequence. And the main reason would be the lifting and lowering of the leg fires your hip flexor, and that attaches to your lower back. Great job. Okay, let's sit yourself up to a mermaid sit. So you can roll to your side or rock and roll yourself up to seated. I'm going to move all my weights out of the way here. So there's really two ways to do the mermaid sit. Actually, the first way is the way I am right now. So you'll see that my knees are pretty close together, and the top one is slightly staggered behind the bottom one, and you can rest the top ankle in the arch of the bottom foot. So this is a great way to do mermaid. The other more traditional way is your Z sit. And I'm going to put a blanket underneath that right hip. So either one. And then we're going to take this hand to the side, open up the arm, pull back, lift the heart, check and make sure that feels okay for your shoulders. And then twist the opposite way, a modified thread the needle, look behind you. Just one more time. Open, inhale, rotate, exhale. Now take this hand that's reaching behind you and put it on the floor right here. Walk the other hand out a little bit, and you're using the pressure in your hands to create a really nice gentle twist here. You can stay just like you are or slightly pull your elbows in, and you're going to go down and push up. This is a little small tricep push up. Down and push up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Was that easy? No? Okay, then if it's not, you're going to do 5 more. If it was easy, take the hand that's closest to the back of the room off the mat, and let's go down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slide that free hand back into the middle. Open out into your side stretch. And come up. If you can reach this ankle with your hand, grab it, and we're going to hold a quad stretch. If you can't reach it, here's your little reacher mechanism. You're going to put your foot in there, and you're going to pull back. Luckily, I can reach my ankle, and that's my knee replacement. I was chatting with Dr. Mayer yesterday about my knee replacement and asking him, I said, I never asked you what the degree of my valgus was. And he said it was between, depending on how he measured it, between 13 and 16. And he said 15 is really bad, and you probably won't have a good outcome with your knee replacement, and you probably won't get adequate flexion back. And I told him how much I could bend my knee, and he said, you should have never got that. You should have never got that. And I thought to myself, thank you for not telling me that before. I worked like a demon trying to get this, because I might have just said, I'll never get it, and I might not have worked at it. So I'm glad he didn't tell me that, because I worked hard and I got it back. So, all right, let's go to the other side. So isn't that a good lesson to learn? Don't tell yourself, I can't, I'll never get there, because likely through determination, you can. And if there's things in life that we can't, well, then we can be accepting of that, right? We can try to anyway. All right, I hope you're watching because I'm just gabbing. Let's reach under. So I'm glad he didn't tell me anything with my hip replacements that I wouldn't be able to do again. He said with the kind that he does, there's no restrictions in crossing your legs, flexing more than 90, no chance of dislocation, which is great. Okay, so we're here in our second one. We're going to put our hand on the floor, walk the other hand out, and then gently apply some pressure in the mat to give yourself a twist. Now, I mean gently. So I could really force myself to twist right here because I've got my hands on the floor and I could really go, oh, but that's not what we're going to do. This is really gentle. You can stay here or you can drop your elbows and push yourself up. This works our triceps. Little bit of flexion in the wrist, but not very much. So this should be a really doable way to work your hands on the floor with your push-ups. There's 5. Was that easy? Then take your back hand off the floor. If it was hard, do both arms again, and let's get 5. Push. 4. Push. 3. 2. And 1. Place that hand back down right in the middle. Open out. And come up. Then this hand, if it can grab your ankle, great. If not, use your yoga strap. And let's pull that leg back and stretch your quad. Now I'm saying stretch my quad on this side, but it's my arthritic hip right here that's saying, that's far enough. In fact, that's almost my edge, so I'm going to back off on it a little bit. I have to retrain myself not to go to the edge. Now that doesn't mean that you guys who have very normal hips can't push or stretch to the edge, so I don't want to make that sound confusing. Just me with advanced arthritis, I'm not supposed to go to the edge over here. All right, let's release that side. We'll come all the way to stand up, any way that's best for you, coming onto your feet. Take those feet out into a nice wide chi. Inhale. Exhale, slide the hands like you're going right down a wall. And inhale. Your circle might be more in here. Inhale. And last inhale up, hold, press the palms together. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. We're going to bend the right knee. Place the hands right to the thigh. Pull the left toes up. Give yourself a little inner thigh stretch. Come up. Bend the left knee. Hands to support. Toes come up. Stretch here. If you bend forward more from your waist, you'll also stretch, or from your hips, I should say, not your waist. You'll get a little bit more hamstring. And inhale.